As I watch this B-29 off the Nats footage, I just don't know how much more impressive than this it can get. Wow. Anyway, one thing that's developing here in our area, we have a dedicated flying site now where you only can fly electric models, and there's room for control line circles, so I hope we're going to get down there. Joe Bescher is handling that. Every time I look at this, it's unbelievable. How could he drive off into the grass? But anyway, anybody that might have even the most remote interest in electric powered models, well, this guy obviously knows something to make a B-29. Very impressive, and we'll be meeting with Joe soon to see if there's any future and anything he can come up with for electric powered control line planes. And like I said, they have this dedicated field and it's beautifully manicured, but no gas powered models. So more on that later as it comes available. Okay, peeps, you got to take that morning bath before you work on carbon fiber parts. Look at this guy taking a bath, having a ball. Hey, peeps. He's taking a bath in his thermos top. What a way to start a day. Who needs air conditioning when you got this kind of nice little bathtub right in your cage? Oh my God, peeps, you are so cute. Anyway, what we're doing today, one of the things is we made up 2 more tune pipes with a different baffling and stinger arrangement. I always made 2 here. One's just a little bit different than the other, and sometime this week we're going to go and try to get some more testing. We have that variable back pressure pipe that we've been running. But every day we've been getting some more tests on, and so far this looks like it's going to be promising. Now it's a remarkable day today. Today is the last day before my daughter's wedding. And we're going to be loaded up with things to do this afternoon. So what I did, I got out to the field. You can see the sun is just coming over the trees. I have 2 more of these quiet pipes that I've been working on. They have different baffling systems. And what I did, I made one up in each one of the shells, and I'm hoping I'll get enough time to get 1 test flight on each one here. Put all the stuff out, and this is some of the things that I think you can get off the video. Now, one of the things, you can see the different angles, and these are the same angles that we're using on the baffles, a 20 degree and a 7 degree. You notice the inlet on this pipe has a much harsher angle. Now normally these, using this front part of the cone, the result is you get a lot more power. The downside is it uses a lot more fuel. In this case, neither one of these pipes have been in a plane yet, but I go with the square one, and this is how I do a test. There's obviously other ways to do it. I have the last time we flew the plane, Mike put a whole day of flying on it. We had a lot of good runs, and we were right on the edge of running out of fuel on every run, because we have Wayne's carbon tank in there, and it's really a 6-ounce tank. In this case, what'll probably happen is when I put this pipe in, it's going to need 6.5 ounces. It'll make a little more power. You notice another thing, I've moved the pressure fitting on this pipe back. I want to just compare. Now there's always the dilemma, people tell me that if you get a pinhole in the pipe, oh, the whole thing goes out the window. Well, I have never found that to be true. And so one of the things I always do is when I have a new pipe on a plane, I leave this unplugged for 1 flight and see if the tune changes, or if something changes other than the needle set. Obviously you have to change it because you're not running pressure. But I have not found that pinhole theory to be a valid one. At least I haven't. Anyway, this will be a very interesting test today, assuming I can get it done. If you notice how the different front angles in these, and these are both mandrels that Dave Midgley has made. We have a very shallow angle, a very steep angle. And again, on the test bench, you can record things like higher RPMs, certain other qualities, but there's one quality that takes precedence over everything. How does it fly in the airplane when you actually fly it? Now we found a good way of getting around the mileage phenomenon, but the thing that we had. We were running 10% Power Master fuel, And what happened when we had put on some of the pipes with the steeper angle, what would happen, it would make significantly more power, but the downside again is you use a half to an ounce more of fuel. So what I found as a slight way of compensating for that is I've gone to 5% fuel for this whole test, because that'll allow me to get flights where I'm not at the end of the pattern getting burps of lean run and different things like that. But again, one of the things I can assure you is I have done similar or testing of some kind almost my whole life. And I have a real good, I guess, a built-in sixth sense of when things are getting better, when they're worse. Now, I don't have my official test pilot Mike here. I don't know, he said he might show up. Our field was underwater. It was a real mess for a while. The last couple of flying sessions, we've been wearing boots and stuff, but it looks like it's a little better today. But you never, around here, you never know. Anyway, again, I always start off a day with a square one flight. Take the system that was working well the day before, the week before, go with that as my initial flight, and then from there try to find an increase, or obviously the chance of a decrease. And then from these three pipes, I want to figure the one that might be the most appropriate. Now, the pipe that makes the most power is usually a little bit louder, usually, not always. And a lot of times the pipes that make a real tremendous amount of power, the downside is the motor gets very finicky to needle, sometimes. Initial run on that first pipe, and while Rich is flying, we're going to try to get the pipe changed. Now, one thing nice about a ship like this that's all open on the bottom, or an older plane that you can leave the bottom and cowl off, changing a pipe is a matter of 30 seconds instead of, sometimes it can be an involved ordealish thing. So for testing, this ship just proves to be ideal. In fact, you can say abracadabra and a pipe appears and disappears. It's pretty cool. One of the nice things about this pipe design that I like, by having a stinger here, I can put it out the side and it keeps not only the plane clean, it doesn't even get oil on there. So what I try to do is always, no matter how good anything is, try to make it better, try to make it lighter, try to make it in some way that it's an improvement. So this will be the first time we've had these pipes. I'm going to have to change this tube. And then I want to run one flight with the pressure off, one flight with the pressure on. Because I always need to reprove to myself that theory about pinholes ruin performance. And I haven't found it to happen when you have an 1/8 inch hole in a pipe. Now, as has proven to be the case almost every time, the pipe that's the quietest, in this case we had 2 of the baffle holes. These are 250 ID holes, and with 2 of them plugged up, we had a good compromise between noise, and you see how I have this bent so it goes around the wing and I can lay it out sideways. I like to, if possible, exhaust the exhaust out the side. Let me just show this, because this is one of the little things that I've found. See how the exhaust is going out sideways? When it goes out sideways, the smoke stream behind the plane is very muffled, I guess is the right word. When it comes out the bottom and you do a square, the top of the square always looks, the flaps deflect the smoke and you always see a wrinkle in it. So there's a little bit of an advantage to being able to exhaust out the side, and of course not having to use the rubber stinger saves almost an ounce. One of the nice things, by doing all the testing in a relatively old plane, you don't have to worry about dinging it up and slipping with the pliers, tightening the zip ties, things like that. Another thing that at the same time we're testing the pipes, this is Bob Gieske's prop still on here. Bob told me this was not one of his favorite props, but by pitching it a few times, we've got it working to where we're real happy with it anyway. And when I send it back to him, I'll ask him to give it another try and see if he likes the way I pitch him better than his, or if I like his better than mine. We can kind of compare them. And the final thing, the big one, is we're working on gallon 5 here. We're about 1/3 of the way through gallon 5 on testing Wayne's tank. And what that means is if at the end of the season we're real happy with that, we'll build a new plane around that tank. I love the way the engine shuts off with that tank too, however he has it plumbed. And one of the things that gives us is we are then a minimum of an 1.5 ounces lighter than a metal tank. So we start building a plane 1.5 ounces lighter, or we can put that 1.5 ounces into Brodak clear or some gold leaf lettering or something, cockpit detail. Another weight saving is by not having to use that the rubber ducky on the end. One of the things I came across some of this real light carbon, this yellow carbon, not carbon, it's fiberglass, real light tubing when I made these pipes up. And I wanted one of each. I wanted to do as much testing as I can, because what I'm trying to come up with is a much quieter pipe at the end of this testing. Now these pipes have 2 baffles in them, and they have offset holes, so hopefully we can get them a little quieter, maybe. And they're around the 45 grain weight range, so as opposed to using a standard production pipe, again I'm 1/2, 3/4, maybe even 1 ounce lighter than using somebody else's production pipe. So between the tank and the pipe, I've lightened up the hardware probably 3 ounces, and what I hope that's going to do is somewhere in the future it'll allow me to build even fancier planes. Again, planes with cockpit detail, wheel pants, more clear, gold leaf lettering, something. Or I can just build lighter planes. And right now Miss Ashley is around 53 ounces with all the lightweight stuff in it. So it's going to be a significant to me, and even if we make the first carbon wing and it's heavier than we want it to be, we'll at least be 3 ounces ahead on the hardware, so maybe it'll be a draw. More to come. Well, we're at the end of day 1 of this test. We really only got one of the pipes tested, but that one is significantly more powerful than the original one we started with, the quiet pipe, but we expected that. And by using 5% fuel, we've got enough time now that we're within the range that we can do stunt patterns in. But there's a significant thing happening today, and you can see I'm getting ready to load up the van here and get home. And I want to mention this, you know, we share a lot of stuff on these videos, but one of the things I've been working toward for about a year is my daughter's wedding, my stepdaughter Stacy's wedding, which will be tomorrow. And her friends got together and made this great little, very short video, it's about 3 minutes long, with a professional announcer from the A&E channel, which is one of the channels that Stacy does the customer commercials for. The little intros, they're all done by Stacy and her little company. She's got kind of a little Pro Stunt Products company. And I want to put on this video the little thing that we're going to play at the wedding tomorrow. She doesn't know we're going to do it. We have made a tape of the things, and these are her girlfriends all got together and made this little short video. And at the end of it, you'll see the outtakes. So enjoy it. It's part of what we've worked the whole last year for her wedding, which is tomorrow.
Apple, a friend, a daughter, a lover, an artist, with the voice of an angel and a heart of gold. This is the story of Stacy Rosenbaum before she became Stacy Rose.
How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. I needed the shelter of someone's arms. There you were. I needed someone to understand my ups and downs. There you were. With sweet love and devotion, deeply touching my emotion. I want to stop and thank you, baby. I want to stop and thank you, baby. Yes, I do. How sweet it is to be loved by you.
knows how much you liberate us, Stacy. You will always shine wherever you are.
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away.
Tune in next week and find out what happens at Stacy Rose's wild and crazy bachelorette party. Yes, Stacy, your bags are packed and your limo awaits. The ladies are taking you to Atlantic City.
Jill told Bill that it was lots of fun to cook. Bill told Jill that she could bait a real fish hook. So they made ooey gooey chocolate cakes, sticky licky sugar tops, and they gobbled it and giggled. And they sat by the river and they fished in the water and they talked as the squirmy wormies wiggled, singing, glad to have a friend like you, fair and fun and skipping free. Glad to have a friend like you and glad to just be me.
She's young, beautiful, and talented. Raised in the suburbs, educated up north, and now rocking, not now, there's not a word now there. We don't know about the now. We don't know what this is, so we can't add any words. We don't know what we're talking about.
And 3, 2.
She's young, beautiful, and talented. Raised in the suburbs, educated up north, and rocking out in the Big Apple. Rocking out in the Big Apple. Shouldn't be that difficult. It wasn't. I did it fine the first time. Pete screwed up.
In 3, 2.
She's young, beautiful, and talented. Raised in the suburbs, educated up north, and rocking out in the Big Apple. A friend, a daughter, a lover, an artist, with the voice of an angel and a heart of gold. This is the story of Stacy Rosenbaum before she became Stacy Rose.
Great. Kids, the same position right now. Stay there and in 3, 2.
Nobody knows how much you liberate us, Stacy. You will always shine wherever you are.
Okay, good. We give you
What the hell does that mean?
the bumpers. Here you go.
$59.95. You too can have your own bike.
Yeah. Is that what we're picking up a little cash here? Jeez.
Yeah, right.
Just go to www.sellout.com.
We'll do anything for anybody.
Oh, sure, apparently.
They have never asked for a Vodka Saturday generic read, but I
Okay.
think it's safe to have one.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.